focus right. Oh my God, I think it's gonna work. Okay, can anybody hear me? Please tell me you guys can hear me. Please tell me right away that you guys can hear me, because I can see the volume on here moving. Can you hear me?
I don't hear anything.
Look, you can see it. Audio working. Why is no one responding? You can hear me? Why can't you hear me?
I don't know.
Yep, they can all hear me. Is your volume not on, Michael?
It's up all the way.
The volume on here moving. Can you hear me?
I don't hear anything.
Look, you can see it. I'm not going to be able to hear myself because the computer is occupying my output sound. The only thing I can hear is the cars that suddenly decided to take a drive down our road right when I started turning on the live stream. Thank God. All right, so you can see something in the background, but I want you to know that I took a lot of time to make sure I got a chat box in there, and now I have two. Oh my gosh. Maybe by the next time I'll get it perfected, but my husband, thank you, just helped me go get this microphone and set it up as I panicked. I don't know why I always panic. I have a hive on my face now. You guys are always patient. I'm not patient with myself. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Oh, you're not caught up to the current live stream. That's why you can't hear me. Push the red all the way to the end on your screen, and then you'll be able to hear it, I think. Yeah. All right. But you're going to have to mute yourself now. Oh, my husband's sitting in on this one. Okay. I set some stories aside for tonight. All right, let me go back in time. I bet you see that to all the guys. All right, I'm going to start at the beginning so I can say hi to everybody, since I was saying hi, but nobody could hear me once again. At least it didn't take me until 9:30 to figure it out this time. Zena, hello. Element, hello. Tenzin, hey. Ronnie, hello. Paul Kate, hello. Slippy Toad, yes. Hello. Smoky Mountain Reads, hello. Lore Labs, hey. And I was saying hi to all you guys from the last one, but it whoopsie. Turbid H20, hey. Good, how you doing? If you're somebody that changed your screen name or username, or we talked a long time ago, I'm sorry, my memory's really bad, but I'm glad you guys are here. I'm gonna adjust my microphone to the less stressful sitting position now that we figured out the microphone situation, and move all these cords aside. Hold on a second. I'll watch me unplug something. Well, or spill my cup. Whatever, it's good. Okay, I don't know why this is swinging around, but it just is. Okay. Because I haven't touched this mic in forever, so it's now got all kinds of movement on it. And oh yeah, my husband's here to add the "That's What She Said" commentary to the entire live stream, so you're welcome in advance to that one. I'll move this back so I can move this back so I can just chill out. Yes. Hello, Duchess. Hello, everyone. Hello, Element. I did say hi to you guys all, so you can still hear me, correct? Just, I'm double checking because now I'm nervous that you guys can't hear me. Hello. Double checking that you can hear me. Can you hear me? C. Okay, thank you. Smoky Mountain Reed says I'm at work at the moment, so I won't be able to talk much, but I'll be listening. Okay, cool. So I saved some stories like I did last time. This was the easiest. So I just saved it on my iPad so that I can just like read from that and not like try to slow down the latency of the live stream. Okay, good. Let me see. In the middle of trying to figure out the volume last time, the Streamlabs just turned off in the middle of me trying to figure that out. So that wasn't me turning it off. It just turned itself off. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'll figure it out after I'm reading for 10 minutes and everyone's like, what happened? Where's the audio? But at least I can see if it turned off by the little the Streamlabs tab at the bottom. I tried to make it so that the screen would be like kind of immediate with the chat response, but it looks like there's still like about a 5-second delay or so. Anyways, if you didn't hear me say, I tried really hard to finally get a chat box on the screen, and now I have 2, and I don't know how I did that. And I'm not about to mess with it right now. Is your husband the Duke of Dark? He just raised his head. I'm like, oh, dark comedy maybe. Duke of Dark. All right.
Darkness of pain.
The Duke of Pain. Oh, let's see here. I'll tell you what I have on the agenda for us this evening. 21 people describe the scariest places on Earth. Rumors of the Hicks Road colony have kept drivers away from the area for years. And I believe that's a cannibalistic group of people, if I'm not mistaken. Creepy stories from Chernobyl. Numerous people disappeared in Vermont's Bennington Triangle, and no one knows why. 10 facts about Colma, California, a.k.a. the City of the Dead. And then I found a couple other things like... in case, people still want to read after that, because I don't know how long. Sometimes these go on for a while, and some of them are really short. So, let's see here. All right, so we're just going to go in order. Starting off with 21 people describe the scariest places on Earth. Are you guys ready? Do you have your snacks? Do you need a minute to go get your snacks? Or are you good? There's like a delay, so. Or do you want me to just get into it?
Better get your snacks.
You guys need to go get your snacks? It doesn't sound the same if I do it. It's not as creepy. It just sounds like my dentures are loose or something. Maybe that's the whole point.
Get your snacks.
Okay, I'm not seeing any more response after Rosina said yes. So now I'm concerned. Is it still good? Okay. All right. We're starting off with 21 people describe the scariest places on Earth. First up is a weird town in Georgia. This is from Redditor Rolf Moo. I'm going to start giving you the credits. I'm telling you, this is from Ranker. That's where I found this. Whatever it is, make it scary. I'm driving to my cousin's house in the back country of the woods. Cool. Just remember, at any point in time, there could be someone in your back seat that jumps up and tries to stab you in the throat. So that should help. Moving on. Hey, cats, you're at the bar. Can you hear these stories at the bar? Is there closed captioning available? If anyone can let me know.
Can't hear, but wanted to say hi.
Oh, okay. Is there closed captioning at the bar? You can let me know later. Anyway, first up is a weird town in Georgia from Redditor Rolf Moo. Like rolling on the floor, laughing, moo. I was driving through Georgia. Oh, and this person's driving down our road. The loudest little bike I've ever heard. Okay. As I was driving through, hey, will you turn on the ceiling fan? Hey, I'm sorry. Will you please turn on the ceiling fan? I'm sorry. Anyways, getting back to the point. I was driving through Georgia, as I live in Florida, where there aren't many out of state trips that don't involve Georgia at some point. You know that's right. Unfortunately, I made a bad decision to wait just one more exit and entered a long strip of highway with no streetlights, no civilization, and no other cars. Usually, I like having the road to myself, but with all the deer crossing signs, I was worried about getting help if I had an accident. I wanted to wait a while until I had service on my cell phone and send a text to my girlfriend at the time. So now I'm in the middle of Georgia, surrounded by dense forest, going 45 miles an hour in a deer crossing zone. If you don't hear from me, send a search party. That's the text he was going to send to her. But I got distracted because squirrel. I finally reached the next exit and pulled off to find a hotel. The road wasn't paved well, but that's not uncommon in the South. It's not uncommon anywhere. Anyway, what was uncommon was when it turned to a narrow dirt road. At this point, I wanted to turn back. I would have if the road were wide enough, but with the trees growing so close on either side, the fat ass on my old 2000 Ford Taurus wouldn't have enough turnability. I turned on the radio just so I wouldn't imagine hearing dueling banjos coming from the trees and kept driving until the inevitable driveway or parking lot where I could turn. I didn't get anything but static on the radio, but I kept flipping stations to give myself something else to focus on. Eventually, I found a grainy talk radio AM station. It was staticky, but I could tell it was some kind of comedy. There was laughing and music, so it made me feel a little bit better. I stopped my car for a second to read the reply from my text earlier, a simple "K, be careful." I replied and kept driving. The road opened up eventually, and I had room to turn around. And as I did, I nearly crapped myself. I couldn't see the surrounding area before turning around, and I assumed it was all trees. And as I turned, my headlights lit up the area around me. An entire town full of people, men, women, and children in the middle of the night with no lights on, were all just standing there, staring at me. I actually screamed and floored it, making it back to the main road in what seemed like seconds. I have no idea what happened. I've not been able to figure out where I was on the map. And I know I didn't dream the whole thing because I checked my phone messages and the times add up. That place, wherever it was, is the scariest place I've ever been. Holy crap. Can you imagine that? You turn around and there's just a town full of people waiting for your car to break down. Story time. Anybody new here? Let's see. Gamma Ukatabi. What?
Good thing you got a old car.
I thought you were saying, good thing I had a guitar. So you could play it like a banjo? Yeah. No, I don't think that's going to happen because I have a SIG P226. What?
That's a gun.
What would you need a gun for?
In case somebody was in his back seat.
Oh, Ronnie's the one that's in the okay, got ya. Sorry. Squirrel. All right, let's see. The campus of abandoned asylum buildings. Oh my gosh, I would love to go in an abandoned asylum because I don't think anything would happen to me while I'm there. I'm like a human block. Slippy toad, power outage. Creeper, spooked. Power outage, oh no. All right, let's see. This is from Redditor Little People. So my town has an entire campus of abandoned mental asylums and schools for the mentally disabled. They shut them down due to the absolutely awful mistreatment and quality of life for the patients. There are underground tunnels, connecting a lot of the buildings. I think a few people actually disappeared down there. Yeah, I bet they did. I've been inside the theater and its basement. Never thought I'd see blood on the walls of a basement of a theater. When you get near the asylum, your gut literally tells you not to get closer. The grounds are dead silent too. Went there once, into a few buildings. Never doing it again. That was short, but I could just picture it while he was saying it, or whoever it was. Hey, damn gypsy. Hey, creeper. Slippy toad. Gamma. If I missed anybody besides Football Master because he's sitting next to me on the couch, or kind of next to me, you're kind of sprawled out like you want to be painted by like one of my French ladies. Okay, yeah, I missed you guys too. If you missed last week, I was gone because, to put it mildly, I got COVID. And yeah. And we're still not 100%, so you're going to hear me like gasping even though I'm sitting down. And that's just kind of normal right now. Hopefully that will change. I don't know. Let's see. Creeper, I like abandoned asylums better than staffed ones. Staffed ones always give me no fun drugs at bedtime and to bedtime. Yeah, that's not fun. I mean, sometimes as an adult, and I'm not saying this to make light of anyone that is in an asylum or to be insensitive, but sometimes as an adult, don't you wish someone else would come into your house, give you something to go to sleep, and tell you to go to bed? Just so you had a reason to stop doing whatever you're doing. Not all the time. And not to be insensitive to anyone in that situation. But anyways, yeah, I always wanted to go into it.
Bring cookies.
Bring cookies. They're not going to bring you cookies. If you have sleepy time medicine and you think you're eating cookies, you're probably eating your hand or your socks.
You can bring sleepy time medicine and cookies.
Why would they bring you cookies, though? It's not like they're nice to
Even
you.
better.
I don't think they're going to be nice to you. Well,
Probably not.
yeah, I don't think so. From all the stuff I've read, I think there's probably 1 out of 1,000 people that get, treated decently in a situation like that. It would be kind of nice to see positive stories from an asylum, but I think the wording asylum alone implies it's not going to be great. Because I don't even know if there's any working asylums left. I don't even think they're worded that way. I think they're called like treatment centers or something like that because that's the whole goal, is to treat the whole person and not lock them in a room or call them crazy or wrap a blanket around them. And
Memory loss centers.
Memory loss centers? Oh my God, you're terrible. As he laughs. All right, moving on. This one is from Redditor Sterling Archer.
Danger zone.
Danger zone. Okay. I'm going to butcher the name of this town in Japan, so I'm sorry in advance. I can type it for you in a second here. Let's see. Aikogigahara, Japan. Terrifying. And I'm just going to type it in the chat so you guys can, of course, correct me. Whatever. Hang on a second here. Put it in the chat so you guys can. Gahara. Japan. All right. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't want to say the name wrong, so I typed it for you. It's a place in Japan. I don't want to say it again and then really completely butcher it because I think I just did. I know. Aikogikahara. I don't think I said it right. I don't want to do that again. I feel bad for the town that I just said. Sorry. Or the city. All right. So anyways. At first it's beautiful. It's at the place of Mount Fuji, so you would be correct in guessing that the initial view is gorgeous. However, as you stumble in, you quickly repent for your silly, silly thoughts. First, it's dolls. Dolls pinned to the trees. Dolls hanging from branches. Dolls in bushes. I don't know why the dolls were there, and maybe it's just the era I was in, but there were lots of dolls. As you move deeper, it very quickly becomes lost articles of clothing, shoes, personal items. You see full campsites just simply abandoned. Yet that's not even the worst thing. The worst is that some campsites weren't abandoned. There's corpses in tents, corpses against trees, and even some hanging from them. It's commonly referred to as the suicide forest for a good reason. You know, they could have called it that before I started reading the story. Thank you. Anyways, people go in and they don't come out. So I was trying to figure out why they would leave corpses in there, and that's the first clue I had that it was going to be the suicide forest. So sorry in advance for the lack of trigger warning. Let's see here. Oh, Creeper said, Awi ki gahara. Okay. I had to come back.
Konnichiwa.
Don't be culturally insensitive, darling.
It's Wayne's World.
Yeah, but at least that's not even...
Not being insensitive.
She's Cantonese.
Same difference.
No. Not the same difference, especially if someone is Cantonese and someone is Japanese. They're not going to argue with you. That is simply not the case. Moving on to the rest of the story. Possibly the worst thing there at the suicide forest, which is what they should have titled the story, was the parking lot with its abandoned cars just left there by an owner who was fed up. Some were rinky-dink and broken down, but there were others chillingly recent. It's a huge reality check to see the earthly belongings of someone who ended their life simply sitting there, seemingly waiting for their master's return. It reminds me of the Futurama episode where Fry's dog waits for him to return, even to his death. The entire thing is soul-crushing. The sentiment of finality palpable. I highly recommend it. It's beautiful and horrendous. But some of the caves are pretty. Oh, how would you even get to the caves? How could you even explore that forest knowing the way that it is? Let's see. I had to come. Okay. How come in this day and age we're still having cell phone signal problems? Exactly. Listen. When we moved in this house 2013. It's now 2021, so it's been 8 years. When we first moved here, and we're at the top of a little hill, we had to talk on our phones outside. As long as we were just outside of our home, we could talk on our cell phones. And only recently, like this year, can I sit on my living room couch and talk to my friend on my phone. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. But for some reason, we are in some kind of weird zone. And as you know, when I had live streams before, I would have a lot of weird delays and everything with my internet. So, and it's not like I'm out in the middle of anywhere. We live right in our town. It doesn't make any sense at all. But honestly, if Google Earth can get a picture of a llama's butthole in the middle of anywhere, we should all have very clear cell phone signals. It's actually a beautiful forest. I'm sure it is, but I'm just wondering, knowing what the forest is and what the odds are that people just feel compelled to take their own lives when they're in there. I'm not sure why anyone would explore the suicide forest. And knowing that it's kind of like a museum / cemetery. I would think it would feel like you're invading on someone's, I don't know, it'd feel like someone's death is on display, like a museum kind of. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like mildly disrespectful that they allow people to just freely go in there knowing that there's still people right there. I don't understand that. A cheeseburger on a lawn. Yeah, no. What about, has anybody seen on TikTok where someone will just, I think there's a couple different creators, and they'll pick a random location on Google Earth. And when you look at Google Earth from far away, it looks like it's just water. But they zoom in really, really far, and it's actually land. There's actually a place there. But it's not supposed to really exist.
The last house I had, the Google Earth street picture showed my neighbor across the street smoking a joint on his porch.
Did you guys hear that? You probably can hear him. His voice is kind of booming. My last apartment was like that. Like the suicide forest. Hello, Dave. It's like, oh, God, I hope that's a joke, but also I really hope that's... oh, God, I hope that's a joke. If I'm not talking or if I go away, my phone keeps cutting out. Oh, okay. All right. Moving on. You guys can still hear me, right? Give me a thumbs up so I know. This next one is North Korea from Redditor Brondo TTM. And it's really short. It just says realistically, I can't think of a place I'd be more scared of than North Korea. It boggles my mind that Westerners voluntarily tour that evil place. I know it's pretty safe as tourism is a source of income for them, but still, I would be terrified of saying the wrong thing or talking to the wrong person and end up in a labor death camp. Yeah, I don't know why North Korea is allowed to still exist in their current state, but that's an entire conversation. That's an entire live stream all by itself, so I'm not even going to touch it anymore. I mean, we couldn't get... Oh, okay. You couldn't get good cell service or internet there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it boggles my mind, like how anybody wouldn't be able to get good cell service. But I know that my friend lives, like, in Minnesota in an area where, like, their air quality is bad because of the Canada fires that are happening. That's how close she is to Canada. But her cell service cuts out all the time mid-conversation. at least 3 times every time we're on the phone. Okay, thank you, Creeper. All right, let's see here. This next one is from Redditor Mother is a Gotti. These Redditors' names are hilarious. A BSL-4 lab where infectious disease research is done. My dad is a virologist and used to work in a BSL-4 at the CDC with various smallpox and Ebola virus strains. Most people don't realize how freaky they are. The scenes of entering and exiting labs described in The Hot Zone and shown in Contagion don't do it justice, apparently. The fans keeping your suit pressurized and steady hands while using lots of sharp and fragile lab equipment are pretty much the only boundary between you and a room full of death. Let's not forget to mention the fact that we're all a mistake away from having this pandemic go through the roof if anybody were to mess up in that lab. Can you even imagine if right now anybody messed up in that lab with something separate from that? We would be screwed. I hope I didn't just plant an idea and some psycho that stumbles onto this live stream is like, yes, I work in the CDC lab. Tomorrow's going to be awful for everyone. Thank you. And it's going to be come back to me for some reason. I'm going to be hauled off to one of those tents like in the movies. It's going to ask me questions I don't know answers to. But I'm going to be really entertaining about it. All right, this next one's from Redditor Manadox, the Red Forest near Chernobyl. That's interesting because we're going to do a whole thing on Chernobyl. The scariest place I've ever been to is just outside the Red Forest near Chernobyl. Is it Chernobyl or Chernobyl? What?
Sure.
Is it Chur?
Sure it is.
It sure is. All right. Anyways, it's actually a beautiful place. The leaves in the fall turn a blood red, and the ground is cloaked in a thin veil of snow. Geez, that's not terrifying at all. Beautiful blood red leaves near, pretty much, isn't it still too dangerous to be there?
Yeah.
Like, it will forever be that way.
Everything's abandoned there.
But they give tours there. Did you know that?
No.
We'll get into that later because we're doing a whole thing on it. However, when I visited the site about 3 years ago, the guide left me there alone and told me to stay put. What? The other person I was with had to run off somewhere, and he had to go find him. So I stood there and waited for him to return. At the edge of the forest, there was absolute silence. Not a bit of wind or animals. The most frightening part was knowing that just beyond the tree line lay an invisible force with the power to kill you 20 times over. A force that will rot your insides and burn your skin. The radiation area, I'm guessing he's saying. Even scarier were the stories I had to hear the night before. There are no mutations at Chernobyl. The animals just changed. Or at least that's how the locals put it. It was like being 5 years old and not knowing what was in your closet at night. It was an oppressive, choking, cold fear, almost paralyzing. After a while, paranoia began to set in and my mind began to race. Was I too close to the forest? Am I being irradiated? Thank you for putting that word in the story with no forewarning. Was that a shadow? Was that rustling? I stood there alone, freezing, scared, knowing that 100-foot walk into the forest would kill me. When the guide returned with my friend, I almost cried with relief. I mean, honestly, he shouldn't have left you there by yourself. A mutated creature who believes in life after love is a Chernobyl. Is it Chernobyl? Like Cher? Oh my god, it's Cher. I'm so dumb. You believe in life after love. What's that one where she was on the boat with her butt and the guys? Turn Back Time?
Yeah. Did you know that her son was playing guitar in that video?
Her son or her...
Her son that she had.
Oh.
With, Greg Allman or Dwayne Allman. I can't remember which Allman brother.
Oh, it's Cher. What are you going to do? She's 70-something. She looks amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Look at my hair. If you guys also don't know, so...
Does anyone have Cher's hairstylist number? Please.
So I'm having the summer of hats. I had a bad experience with a perm. Long story short, I had to cut off all of my hair. And as you all probably know, if you've ever seen a picture of me, my hair's red. And short red hair that is a very frizzy right now. I'm having a bad hair summer and I cannot wait until like October where I can get some sort of normalcy back to my life when I look in the mirror. Oh God.
At least it will grow back.
I really hope it does. It's taken a long time.
Some people aren't that lucky.
Oh, my husband is without hair on his head, but he's got tons of facial hair, back hair, chest hair, everywhere. Okay,
Says everywhere means my legs.
Your legs. That's what I meant. Your legs. Anyway. Anyways. If you're just joining us, we are reading 21 People Describe the Scariest Places on Earth. And if you're a kid, get out of here because this is grown-ups only time. Bye-bye. We are on the killing fields in Cambodia from an anonymous Redditor. So the killing fields on S21 prison in Cambodia. Haunting. Human bones still sticking out of the dirt paths. A huge stupa full of human skulls with holes in them from where they were bludgeoned to death. The prison is a former school turned into a torture chamber. There are rooms full of pictures of mug shots where people hold up numbers like criminals, but they're just ordinary people. Men, women, children, and elderly. The looks on their faces will give you nightmares. Oh my gosh. Now I feel guilty for even laughing before I read that story. Oh my God. Now I'm going to laugh again. Because I'm thinking about your hair. You hairy like animal. All right. The next one is from Redditor Bumhim666. Doll Island. And I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of the place because I will completely butcher it. All right. But I think we've all heard of Doll Island. A friend of my dad works there where the island is located, and he arranged for us to take a tour at 2 a.m. Oh, yeah, I arranged for you to go there at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's basically a maze of canals and small islands. And during the day, it's a great way to sail around in these little boats. There was another word for the little boats. Again, I would have butchered the word. There's people in the boats selling food and beers and whatnot, and it's really a fun experience. However, sailing there at 2 a.m. in complete darkness in a flimsy boat powered by a man with a stick can be quite unnerving. So we set off from the main pier. I thought I was going to burp into the microphone. I don't think anyone wanted to hear that. Classic. Blah. So we set off from the main pier at 1:30 in the morning and started roaming the dark canals. And since there aren't people who live there or anything that would provide us with light, our cell phones and the moon was the only thing that led our way. So after about 40 minutes, we arrived to the damn island. Now, the first challenge was the entrance, which is a 3-foot wide, rotten pier, which you basically have to jump from the boat, risking falling into the nasty canal. So we luckily all made it unscathed and started on the tour of the island. The tour guide was a man who was about 80. He was 4 feet tall, carrying a stick with an oil lamp at the end to light the path for us. He proceeded to explain the story of a man who lived there many, many years ago, who believed he was being haunted by one of the ghosts of a girl who had drowned in the canals. So the man started hanging dolls everywhere around his house and on the trees outside to confuse the spirit so it would leave him alone. So over the years, he accumulated around 500 dolls to protect him. He spent 25 years hiding in his house, not leaving for a single moment until his death. How did he eat? And all of his dolls became a tourist attraction. I'm sorry, how did he get food or go to the bathroom or clean it? How did he get food? Anyway, now my personal experience there is not what I expected it to be. The place felt sad. Hundreds of old and rotted dolls hanging, missing eyes and limbs. It was unsettling, but sad. At least it was until we heard rustling in the leaves and a little kind of squirrel-like squeals. So we didn't even bother to finish the tour and got out of there. The old tour guide told us that the dolls have souls in them because of some curse that I didn't quite understand. Because I was more worried about the 1,000 glassy eyes staring at me than the story. So anyway, got out of there, proceeded to get lost in the canals for 2 hours because the guy with the pushing stick was drunk. Finally, we got to the main pier about 5:30 in the morning and went home. So there you go. If you plan on visiting the place, I recommend you do it during the daytime. Screw the doll island at night. There's definitely something off about that place. I think that if something's haunted, I think it's haunted 24 hours a day. I don't think it's just haunted at night. Personally.
Except for noon to 1, they're gone for lunch.
Oh, wow. Ba-dum-bum. I seen that place on Ghost Adventures. Yeah, I know. And they went at night too. But I think that you've seen it too. Like if you're watching like one of those shows and they're setting up their cameras and everything, and they're like, we've already got activity. Like, do you think that the ghosts are waiting until your cameras are all set up? They're like, okay, they're ready to go. Showtime.
Action.
Go pull that guy's shirt sleeve. Do it now. The cameras are on.
God, I told you to grab him.
Dang it. Oh my gosh. Let's see, what's this one? Just did that one. This one's kind of short. The Bolton Strid. This is from Redditor None Error. A seemingly harmless little stream in Yorkshire Island, England, I'm so sorry, known as the Bolton Strid. Nobody who's ever fallen into the Strid has survived. It has a 100% fatality rate. It looks like you could just hop across the rocks. But no, you die. That thing scares the crap out of me. That something so harmless is actually a death trap. Okay, Phantom Zone, ghosts or trolls when it comes to cameras. I think so too. Haunted is haunted. That should be a shirt. Just haunted is haunted. Oh my gosh. I heard that. Did you watch that TikTok I sent you? My husband and I sent each other TikToks mostly all the time. But I saw this guy. There's this one guy. He's like a construction worker or something. And sometimes he does like a filter, and it's really funny. But he's like, this old man told me that, that fuck around and find out, that saying. He said, this is how I say it. Test that assumption at your earliest convenience. And like, that needs to be on a shirt. That right there. I hate how all those shows, videos, turn off all the lights. I don't mind if their lights are off, like, because some people are able to, like, feel. I think that there's certain people, like when we were talking about last week, Portals to Hell, when you watch Katrina, I feel like she has some sort of, like, magnet. Like, she's a magnet for that stuff, because it happens to her no matter what show she's on. She gets something happening where she's at, and she's quiet, and she tries to get as much evidence as she can. And I feel like she's a contribution to that field for study for later on. But I think there's other people, it doesn't matter, like, if they turn off the lights or if it's daytime. I don't know. I think that for her, because we've seen that show plenty of times where it's daylight out and she's talking to someone and something happens while they're talking. The only thing that bothers me about that is that you don't have a 360 view of the area, because somebody could have easily been off camera and thrown something down. But often they've still got their cameras set up, and she's like, can you go back and review that footage? And then blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying she's the only one who gets footage. I'm just saying that's the one I've seen get the most genuine footage that I can see. But I understand why people like Ghost Adventures, because they're entertaining and it's pretty funny. But it does get on my nerves because they treat the spiritual world like a little entertainment game. And I feel like that's disrespectful. So that's just my take on it, though. That's why he wears big glasses, because the devil house is like, oh no, you funny? Now you can't see, fool. That's mean. I already can't see very well, so I probably shouldn't joke about that. This one is the haunted castle ruins in Scotland, from Redditor Asmodeus. Asmodeus? I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. On the west coast of Scotland, there's a castle near the sea where every morning and night the sea stereotypical horror fog, rolls in. The castle is in complete ruins. The story goes that the small castle was occupied just by husband and wife, and one day the husband drowns her in the surrounding loch and buries her in the bog. Soon after, the husband was found dead in the loch, and it's said the ghost of the wife roams the bog to this day. I went to go visit this place and decided the preset dirt path was boring and sore on my feet, so I walked across the bog. After a couple minutes, I hear a gentle female voice echoing all around me. A long, soothing shush. But to me, it was anything but soothing. I looked all around me to see no one, and said to thin air, hello? To no response, I realized where I was standing. I was standing in the bog, and then I ran. I hope this is just speakers for a tourist attraction to keep the myth of the ghost wife up, or I'm just going insane. If not, there's going to be hell to pay when I die, because that scared the crap out of me. Can you imagine being a ghost and remembering a ghost that scared you when you were alive? You're just waiting until you die. Can't wait till I die, because someone goes, I'm going to go find you and kick your ghost ass. That is the, like, level 1000 petty. Hello, Sabrine. Hey, how are you doing? I was going through my stories and remembering that a couple of collabs we did, and then a couple Halloween stories. I was organizing my flash drives earlier today, so I saw that. How you doing, man? This next one is, okay, so if you're just joining us, we are doing 21 people describe the scariest places on earth and a few other things in a minute. We have an agenda. And if you're a kid, this is grown-up time. Get out. No kids allowed. All right, this one is these aren't numbered, so I don't even know what number I'm on. Do you think that some ghosts have a sense of humor or mess with people out of boredom? Probably both. I think that if you're stuck here, you're going to have to entertain yourself somehow. I think that also if you're stuck here, because I think that there's some ghosts that had such a traumatic experience, or they were so tied to a place that they were that their energy just like it's there. But I think that they can make a decision.
I think most of the ghosts just want to ask you about your extended warranty on your car.
They just want to know why you have not extended that car warranty yet. It's ridiculous. But I also think that there's probably a sort of freedom, and they're like, you can finally go to Paris. Probably don't care about that if you're dead, but there's so many things I want to see.
Jump right off the Eiffel Tower.
I mean,
which is huge, by the way.
You said that weird. It's huge. The Eiffel Tower is huge.
I went on the 1/3 replica, and it was 300 feet in the air.
Well, how big is the actual Eiffel
It
Tower?
must be 1,000 feet in the air.
All right. This next one is called the Wall off the coast of St. Croix. And I'm probably saying that wrong. By the way, everyone asks if it's LaCroix or LaCroix or whatever. It's LaCroix. It's LaCroix. But no one's going to say that, so it doesn't matter. Mrs. Abraham said, I've had a lot of ups and downs, mainly ups, but the downs have been pretty big downs. Lost my passion for making YouTube videos as well as scrub my channel clean. Yeah, it's hard to make content when life is hard, but maybe you'll make some more because you have a really good voice for it, and I hope you get back to it, or at least do some audiobooks or something, man. Don't waste that voice. Not that it's wasted, but it's soothing to the ears, and people would like to hear your voice more, probably. I'm sure. Element says, I don't think ghosts get stuck here. I think it's more they're afraid to move on. I think sometimes that's the case too. But I think like...
Or they don't know how.
Or they don't know how. Or they're afraid that something, like they're going to go to hell or there's no heaven or whatever. And then there's other people that say we are energy. We're energy now. We're energy when we're out of our body. And energy never dies. So the energy exists whether you're in your body or not.
My energy dies every day.
Your energy dies every day. Wah wah. Every day we didn't win the lottery. Bubbly sparkling water is better. What? Bubbly sparkling water is better? Say what, man? Oh, La Croix. Buble. The Buble sparkling water. I like those commercials. All right. The wall off the coast of St. Croix, from an anonymous Redditor. Just off the coast of the island, there's a place called The Wall. It's a favorite spot for scuba divers, and every picture online is a breathtakingly beautiful image of a close-up of coral and divers taken with a serious, high-powered flash. The reality: a 2-mile straight vertical drop off to the ocean floor. Imagine it. The water is shallow, warm, perfectly clear as you start out. Tiny, colorful little fish dart around. Scattered coral formations dot the ocean floor. Literally paradise. And after bobbing along for 15 to 20 minutes, not even a quarter of a mile from the beach, dive master points. And then there's the wall. It's a straight drop off the ocean floor. The depth is recorded from a mere 1,000-foot drop off to 2 miles straight down. The clear turquoise water shifts to a deep blue for a few feet and then solid black. You are floating directly above a black abyss. You feel the coldness of those depths gripping you like the tentacles of a giant squid. It pulls you, and you awkwardly try to shuffle backwards in flippers in full dive gear. Like a nightmare, you can't run because you're paralyzed. It occurs to you that there are things down there. Giant things that are built to move and hunt and kill in the water, and you are completely out of your element. And you are slow, clumsy, and delicious. Scuba divers who do this have balls of steel. I do not, and it haunts my dreams. That reminds me, I watched Sharknado today.
I saw it was on. I was eating lunch.
I wanted to watch Friday the 13th, and my husband didn't want to rent it this morning for $3 because he was convinced he could go to Walmart and find the entire box set for cheaper than $3.99. Tell everyone, did you find it?
Nope.
All right. So, feeling to need to quench that, and I was in the mood for a dark comedy as I always am, Sharknado was the best fit for that void today. So there we go. Let's see here. Thank you, Duchess. I've been making gaming content in private, just having fun editing that stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back to reading spoopy stories. That's how I say it too. I literally labeled my flash drive for this spoopy content. Spoopy. Then that La Croix. All right. Let's see one. The next one here is Creepy Farm with Former Convalescent Home. From Redditor. I can't make this shit up. I can't make this up. Sorry, I added the shit part, but whatever. Kids, if you're here, get out, because it's grown-ups here. And we are reading 21 People Describe the Scariest Places on Earth. I think that's the title of this one. We have more. This is just the beginning. Anyways, my friend's family owns a farm in a rural area. There's a house on the farm that is vacant now, but it used to be a convalescent home. The front door is blocked off by boxes and other crap. So the only way to enter is through the morgue in the basement. When you get in the house, it's old, probably built early Victorian, late Civil War area. It's all rickety, and of course the first thing you see is a rocking chair and a spinning wheel. One room is blocked off by a mountain of boxes and furniture. My friend's dad, who is big, really strong, will not let anyone in there, and made his kids promise to never, ever go in there. Something in that room scared this enormous grown man from ever entering it again. Yeah, that'd be like you telling me that something scared you. Like if something scares my husband, I'm not doing it.
Bills.
That's it. No more bills for us. Washing our hands of it right now. Oh, shit. For Redwall. Hello. If anybody else is here and I didn't see you while I was reading, please let me know that you're here. All right. We are reading 21 People Describe the Scariest Places on Earth. And kids, this is grown-up time, so get out. Well, I did have it, when I put it on Instagram, the thumbnail, on Twitter and Instagram, I said it's Saturday, let's get weird, but I forgot to put that in the description of the video. Find a ghost, speaking my language. Fight a ghost, oh yeah. There's a huge delay on the chat thing, isn't there? There must be, or something. Started streaming less than 1 minute ago. What? The screen must be stuck on something else. All right, anyways. The next one is from Redditor, the 10-foot long scarf too. Interesting. The Pinelands in New Jersey. And it's southern New Jersey. So the area is over 1 million acres. Trees grow so close together that when you go deep enough, it's perpetually dusk. It's boggy. The ground is a thick black peat. The peat is so dark the ground appears black. South Jersey has enough iron ore to turn the millions of little streams to garish red. When the little peat settles, it makes a thick slurping sound. The trees are so thick and the ground so spongy that sound does not travel well. Everything is muffled. Pines are sturdy. When the winds come, rather than shake the branches, it hisses through the needles. So basically it's just creepy to be there, but there's no history of it being creepy. These places aren't very scary. Well, I hope they will be soon. Element. Humans are weird. Mm-hmm. They sure are, honey. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyways, Hashima Island, Japan. And this is from Redditor Arrow6. If you're just joining us, we're reading 21 people describe the scariest places on Earth. In their opinion, not ours, clearly. And I don't know what number we're on. If you're a kid, get out of here, because this is grown-up time. Hashima Island, Japan. Completely abandoned mining island, completely evacuated overnight. The rotting remains of everyday items are still scattered around it. You can only get there a certain time of the year, so if you do get trapped on an island, God help you. It's also off the coast of Nagasaki, which adds to the creepiness factor. You cannot pay me to go there. What's up with Nagasaki? You don't know? I don't know either. I feel when I Google it later, I'm gonna remember and then be like, oh yeah, I feel like an idiot. La Croix. Creeper, you spelled that perfectly. La Croix. Is there like a 10-minute delay in the chat? I feel like there must be. All right. Higgins Lake in northern Michigan. Really?
It's a nice lake. I've been there.
Why is it creepy?
Quite a few times.
From Redditor Chuck It Real Good.
That's my stepdad.
In northern Michigan, there's a lake called Higgins Lake. Beautiful cerulean blue waters and a gorgeous place in general. Voted by National Geographic as the 6th most beautiful lake at one point in time. However, the water is strangely shallow for hundreds of feet, around the perimeter of the shore anyway. But a few hundred feet out, the depth suddenly changes from waist deep to a sudden drop-off. The tropical blue water morphs into a deep blue-black. And as a kid who used to summer there, my friends and I always found interesting ways to play chicken with the drop-off. One year, my cousin got hit with a strange updraft from the dark waters that was very cold. She was so caught off guard by the cold wash, by the wash of the icy water that she almost couldn't swim back to the ledge. We never went in there again. Okay, yeah. We're reading. There's definitely a significant delay. And what I'm getting to see, yeah, which is weird because when I did like the chat box, which by the way, I worked really hard to make sure we had a chat box on here, and now I have 2, and I don't know how I did that, so. Anyways. Death zone on top of Mount Everest. From Redditor Roderu. Anyway, the death zone at the top of Mount Everest where experienced mountaineers like Bob Hall die when they don't turn around in time or get caught in a storm. I know he's susceptible to the accusation that he played Russian roulette with his life once too often. But the satellite call to his pregnant wife while he waited to freeze to death was heartbreaking. Oh. I mean, I don't know why people are allowed to climb it at this point. There's been way too many people that died or severely got injured. I don't know why they're allowed to do that. Let's see. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Really? From Redditor Sevens. I know what this was. The Silent Hill place. The real life Silent Hill town. Snuck in at night with some friends when we heard it was the inspiration for Silent Hill. Surrounded by broken down buildings and the smoke of unseen fires that never burn out. One cannot help but feel a persistent sense of dread-soaked panic. I think it also doesn't help that the houses aren't that old that are abandoned, and there's one person that lives in that town because they refuse to leave, which I'm really not sure how their quality of life is safe, because I'm pretty not sure it's probably not safe to live there. I don't know how they have drinking water.
Probably don't, unless they have a well.
Even then, could you drink that if the underneath ground is on fire? You could drink the well water. Wouldn't it be contaminated?
No.
I have so many questions.
Because
the rest of the live stream could be filled with those questions. Squirrel.
Water, they don't tell you to boil it.
Slow, clumsy, and delicious is also how I like my women. Oh my God. Put that on your Tinder profile and see what happens. Keep us updated. I'm only 7 hours from, I mean, I've never said I'm only 7 hours from anywhere, as if I'm going to get in my car because it's just 7 hours. I can't think of any place where I want to go right now that's 7 hours away. How long does it take to get to New York from here, do you think? Would that be 7 hours? 7 hours. Let's go. I don't know, because in Michigan, I think you can go, there's like...
We'd have to go around Canada because we don't have passports.
Oh, we don't have passports, that's right. But if we did, we could go over a bridge to Canada, through Canada, onto another bridge right to New York. So I don't think it's that far. I think it's a literally couple-hour drive if we do it that way.
I think it's like...
It's going to be real hard to come back into America once we get in Canadian land, though, because I want that fucking free health care.
You just stop by the hospital.
Stop by the hospital. Oh, my God. Can you do that?
I don't know.
We need to go on vacation to Canada and see what happens. Prime Minister is going to chime in. That doesn't work. Don't try it. Okay. Let's see. Several places in Virginia. Yep, I just heard the banjo music play in my head. From Redditor Tyler JB4. Got a few local ones. Crawford Road. Allegedly lots of lynchings on the road. Oh, God. A lady hung herself off the bridge on her wedding day. St. Albans Sanitarium is another freaky place. An Indian land that had a Civil War battle on it and later an asylum. A little bit of everything there. Finally, there's Green Springs Road, a narrow road in the middle of an enormous clearing. There's grass for a few square miles with a few old trees scattered. Green Springs is one of the oldest plantations in America. Very thick fog settles there almost every night and tons of deer graze in the field. All you see are little eyes peering out of the fog at you. Lots of people also say that they have seen a woman in the field at night just standing there. I mean, can't somebody take a walk? I mean, just stare at someone in a creepy dress just to get some entertainment out of their day? Maybe it's been a rough day and Barbara wants someone to crap their pants. I think that if you've got a local legend in your area and no one's living up to it, you better get your butt out there with a weird outfit on and make people tell stories about it. Oh my God. I always wanted to go to New York. I was just in New York. Lucky. You lucky.
Been to Buffalo, New York, and Niagara Falls.
I've never been to Niagara Falls. Never.
Pretty fun. Lots of cool wax museums.
Great. I'm glad you had fun.
But that was like in 1984, so it's probably totally different now.
I swear, I want to go to one of those rooms one of those places that's in Niagara Falls that I thought was there with the heart-shaped bed and the champagne tub that's like sitting up in air.
Superman 2.
From Superman 2.
Bring a bag of quarters.
And sleep on the floor because the stupid bed won't stop moving around. Odessa Catacombs in the Ukraine. Okay, I've never heard of catacombs in the Ukraine before this sentence hit my brain. From an anonymous Redditor. Imagine being stuck in a 3-level maze of pitch black mines, 25 kilometers long. After the days of constant walking, screaming, and contemplating every regret you have and every experience you will ever have, your body collapses to the ground, exhausted and unable to go any further. The rats will probably eat you alive before your body gives out. There are hundreds of exits, but good luck finding one. All right, that was short but terrifying. That was scary. No?